I saw this on my Instagram feed. It said the new Mount Rushmore of streamers is going viral. The Mount Rushmore of streamers. And they have Aiden Ross, I Show Speed, Rye Sanat, and Rice Gum. And I was like, how in the fuck is this the list? I felt so out of touch. I was like, how is the list? These four streamers.
You're my man.
For the Mount Rushmore. That can't be the Mount Rushmore. No offense to any of these people. It just doesn't make any damn sense. For live streaming, I feel like it's a misunderstanding of what a Mount Rushmore is. I feel like Mount Rushmore, you have to understand, is like, it's kind of like, it's not just the goats, right? It's like the forefathers. It's like there's a bit of history to it. I'm going to say this. I think my Mount Rushmore of streamers, not one of these people would be on it. Maybe one. You're insane. If I'm thinking Mount Rushmore, right? If I'm thinking Mount Rushmore of streamers, it depends how much respect you want to give to the people who made streaming what it is, right? So, for example, I'll give you a name that nobody in this chat will say. In fact, right now, spam who you think should be on the Mount Rushmore. Go ahead, spam. I don't think a single one of you are going to say the name that I'm going to say. And I'm seeing a lot of names, by the way, that make sense. All right, Lyric, Wreckful, Soda Poppin' Ninja, Germa, Shroud. Like, these are all totally realistic people to put on a Mount Rushmore.
You're my mans.
But none of you are mentioning who is the father, the George Washington of live streaming, Justin Kahn. He's the George. If you were to pick a George Washington, Alex, nobody. If you were to pick a George Washington of streaming, it would be Justin Kahn, who is the founder of Justin TV, which was then changed into Twitch.tv.
You're my man.
Okay? Because Justin TV started as a website that was supposed to live stream Justin Kahn's daily life, which is why it's called Justin TV. It was a 24/7 feed of Kahn's life with a webcam attached to his head that lasted 8 months. That's the George Washington of that shit. Okay, Unc, go to bed. See, that's what I mean, bro. That's what I mean. I feel like a crazy person because that's what I think. And then I go to fucking Instagram.com and it's a goddamn AI picture of 4 streamers, 3 of who I think started post-COVID. And probably the worst portrait I've ever seen of Kai Cenat ever. Probably the worst one. I don't know how it got this viral. That's not even Kai. I agree. It's supposed to be him. It has 350 likes. It has a lot more likes. I just couldn't find the original. But I promise you, I saw... yeah, let me take a look. This wasn't even the post I saw. But this is a screenshot of a Dexerto tweet with, like, 2 different fucking watermarks with 40,000 likes on Instagram. The hair looks awesome, dude. I appreciate that, man. Who slid Rice Gum in? I think the argument for Aiden Ross is that he made live streaming cool for not nerds, basically. He made it cool for Nazis. Yeah, he did that too. You know, and it's like, he's really just spreading it around. He's spreading it around. That's the thing about him. And you guys don't give him enough credit for that. It's rage bait? I don't think it's rage bait. Okay, look, here's the thing. You guys watch Ludwig, okay? So you have to understand that puts you in a circle where you are already, and I'm sorry if you didn't know this, a fucking nerd, okay? I'm sorry. You are in a fucking nerd circle. Okay? If you are in my live stream, if you are watching my Mario Party gameplay, my collabs with Squeaks, if you are watching me beat the world's hardest game, if you like me playing Pokemon, you're a fucking nerd. That's just what it is. Now, it doesn't mean you can't be buff, doesn't mean you can't be a jock or whatever. It just means you have a little nerdy side of you. All right? Which, by the way, shouldn't even be that big of an insult because nowadays that's considered kind of cool. All right? 30 years ago, you'd actually get bullied. Now it's kind of cool. You're chilling. It's rage bait or 15-year-olds. Okay. It's just not that, okay? There's definitely some 15-year-olds. And it's rage bait for, like, live stream endemic people. But this live streaming space is bigger than it was 5 years ago. We share this live streaming space now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, there were live stream viewers who, like, understand the history of Twitch. Started Justin TV, and then you got fucking Shroud, and then Ninja got so rock hard off Prime, you got 200,000 people subscribe, and you have freaking Mogus, and you have Siglemic, who's running Mario and all that shit. Yeah. But then you have people who only play, like, Call of Duty or 2K, who only know about Twitch because Aiden Ross, IShowSpeed, and Kai Cenat, and that's it. And you know how I know this? I was on a plane ride. And I spent the entire plane ride talking to this guy. He's a football player. He's a college football player. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I started asking about what his life is like being a college football player. And, you know, he played for USC. And he told me about his whole journey getting there. And then he asked what I did. And, you know, because I'd asked so many invasive questions, I was like, oh, well, you know, I'll just tell him. I was like, yeah, I'm a live streamer. He's like, oh, you stream? I was like, yeah. He's like, would I know you? Like, what is it? Are you, frankly, he was like, are you big? And I was like, oh, you know, it's working out. You know, I have some following. And then I was like, do you know any live streamers? He's like, I don't really watch it, I'll be honest. I was like, none taken. No offense here. No offense given. And I was like, do you know any streamers like Ninja? And I'm not even lying. He goes, who? And I go, oh, well, like, what live streamers do you know? And I'm not lying. He goes, oh, I know, like, Aiden Ross, IShowSpeed, Kai Cenat. That's all he knew. That is all he knew. By the way, this guy's like 20 years old. He's like 20. That's all he knew. And I was like, all right, we're in a different era. We're in a different era of the damn world. You know what we need back? Who's the motherfucker who used to do that mapping the Twitch universe? We need the mapping of the Twitch universe. That map looks different as fuck nowadays. And I also just want to see, low-key, for my own personal interest, who's sharing viewers with Asmongold? I can't imagine anyone is. I feel like there are people who go on the website and they're jumping into Asmon's chat. Maybe there's cross viewership with Hassan's chat because they're hate viewing Hassan, and Hassan's chat is hate viewing Asmon, I imagine. But I don't know who on Twitch is sharing that many viewers. Destiny? I don't think he's on Twitch, right? I guess maybe OTK. Perhaps OTK. I think that'd be cool. Bring that back. To the makers of the Twitch Atlas. Come back. We miss you.